Alright, next is standard operating procedures for key control, in which here you will determine on who can actually get the master key for all hotel rooms, and what level of or what floors will be dedicated to which person, and how do you actually request and return the key. All those procedures is needs to be all of those procedures need to be specified in the SOPs. Next is the lost and found operation. I think the word lost and found, you know by now. Lost and found is actually refers to item left behind in the guest room by the guest. So there will be specific procedures on how actually to actually handle these items. You actually need to bring this item to the to the housekeeping department, and you have to do some logging of item. Logging means you have to put in the logbook, and also tagging of items and so on. So there will be procedures for the items found in the guest room. Next is inventory control procedures. Inventory control refers to all the stocks in your housekeeping storage. This includes the guest room supplies, bathroom supplies. Inventory means stocks or supplies, and also chemicals, machines, equipment, furniture and other equipments inside the guest room, as well as your machines. Guys, basically inventory control means you will have the procedures on checking and counting the inventories in your storage and also in your guest room. So the proper counting and inventory taking procedures, as well as purchasing of the inventory. Purchasing of the inventory also should have certain SOPs, because guest room supplies, some of them are non-reusable, and some of them we consider consumable. Guys, I give you example. Certain guest room supplies are we consider as consumable. For example, shampoo, bath gel, shaver, toothpaste. All of this is considered as guest consumables, and it will need to be repurchased to control the inventory level. So this also need another SOPs. So there are so many SOPs. Next is linen handling procedures. Who will need to in charge of sending and also collecting back the linens, and how linen will be distributed. Either the staff need to go to the housekeeping to pick up their uniforms, because linen also including uniforms. So all of those procedures in handling linen also need SOPs. Next is time card control. Time card control refers to punch card for the attendance. Next is control for chemicals used in cleaning. This much refers to the safety procedures on how to use and how to actually dissolve or dilute the chemicals with safety. Inspection checklist. What is inspection checklist? Guys, usually after the room have been cleaned, you will need the supervisor to do the inspection. When the room is clean, the status is clean, but you need to get the supervisor or senior housekeeping staff to check on the room. After they have checked for the room and the room meets the standard of performance, which is this one, and then you will sell the room to the next guest. Guys, standards of performance means the standards that you lay down in your documents on how rooms to be clean. What is actually criteria that you look for? I just give you example. For example, there should be no dust found on the furniture and equipments in the room. there should be no hair or any small particles on the floor. So you will put the standard for inspection. Actually, standards for performance is used by the supervisor for inspection checklist. Next, during the inspection checklist, the supervisor also will check for if there is any defects in the room. So they will randomly check on the equipment, on the electrical appliances, whether they are working properly or not. If something is not really correct, they will go for maintenance work order form. So program, I mean. So they will request for maintenance work. That's why they call it order. You will request. And then is control of gas loan items. How do actually you control the gas loan items loan to the guests? Because gas loan items, some of them are expensive, and you actually don't provide in every room. You give loan to the guest, and how is actually the request procedures, and how to actually do the return procedures, and so on. So example of gas loan item is what? Yeah, some hotel, they don't have the iron and ironing board inside the room, so the guests need to call housekeeping to send. We call it gas loan item. Including gas loan item is also baby cribs. Yeah, baby cribs means baby bed, the small baby bed, and also extra bed is also considered gas loan item. Certain hotel, what is it? Blower for hair is what? Hair dryer. Hair dryer is considered gas loan items, because not all hotel provide gas loan. Hair dryer in the washroom. So the procedures of requesting and then also returning of the gas loan item will be specified in the SOPs. What actually you put in the SOPs? Number one is directives. Directives means instruction, what to do. Procedures means step by steps. Explanation of forms means how to actually fill up forms, what form to be filled up and how to fill up, what are the code and status, and so on. Records to be kept. Usually records to be kept is actually reports that you produce. Next is positional responsibilities. What is the responsibility of you as the staff, and also how it is actually coordinated with other staff in the department. For example, I said one example just now, even when you have clean, when the room attendant finish cleaning the room, they have the responsibility to call or to inform the supervisor to do the inspection. So that after the inspection, there will be that is one relationship. Another relationship is after inspection, supervisor have to inform the status of room as ready to the front office. That is how personal or positional responsibility and also coordinating relationship. After you have finished your personal responsibility, you need to actually get other people to do their job. You have to inform and actually communicate the status. Guys, this is the example of standard operating procedures. As you can see over here is SOP for lost and found. They give you one example over here. So number one, in the SOP of lost and found, you will find that responsibility of lost and found is by the housekeeping department. The responsibility is to do the proper storage, disposal, controlling, and also coordinating the return. Next is the procedures, how to actually do the logging. Logging means how do you actually record in the logbook, and also custody control. How do you put the items in your custody? And inquiries, if there is any inquiry by the guests who have lost the item, you will check either they have two here, during the operation hours and during the night shift. So you have the different procedures for the inquiries, and then after 90 days the item will be offered to those person finding the items. Alright guys, that's all for today. Please take up to tutorial chapter 4 for the attendance.